Hi everyone and welcome to SK's e-Shikshalaya, and today I will conclude the chapter on French Revolution, and in this presentation we will look at the impact of French Revolution on the everyday life of the people. Today we will discuss the revolution and everyday life, role of the revolutionary government, rule of Napoleon Bonaparte, and conclusion. So let's begin with the revolution and everyday life. Can politics change the style of clothing, language, or way of life of people? What do you think? I say yes. Politics can change the style of clothing, language, or way of life of people. French Revolution brought about qualitative changes in the lives of men, women, and children. So let's see how the change in the style of clothing tried to dismantle the social hierarchy of the French society and express a movement towards liberty and equality. Some Jacobins decided to wear long striped trousers similar to those worn by the dock workers because they wanted to look different from the affluent sections of society who wore knee breeches, and to declare the end of the power exercised by the wearers of knee breeches. That's the nobility. Now, these Jacobins came to be known as sans-culottes, which literally means those without knee breeches. Sans-culottes men wore in addition the red cap that symbolized liberty. The revolutionary governments passed laws so that the ideals of liberty and ideals of equality could be practiced in everyday life. Equality was sought through different ways. All citizens had to eat the pain de égalité. It was equality bread or a cheap loaf made of whole wheat. Equality was to be practiced through forms of speech and address. Traditionally, for sir it was monsieur and for madam it was madame. But after the revolution, all were citizens. So for men it was citoyen and for women it was citoyenne. Churches were shut down and they were converted into barracks or offices. So now we have seen politics brought about changes in the everyday life of the people in France. After the storming of the Bastille in 1789, law for abolition of censorship came into effect that brought about freedom of the press. So now we will see what changes came about after the freedom of press. In the old regime, all the written material and cultural activities like books, newspapers, plays could be published or performed only if approved by the censors of the king. So the print material was censored by the king. Now, after the introduction of freedom of press, The revolutionary government brought about freedom of speech. The revolutionary government in the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen stated freedom of speech and freedom of expression to be a natural right. Print materials like newspapers, pamphlets, books, and pictures were easily available in both towns and countryside, which was not possible in the earlier times. The events and changes taking place in France was freely discussed. Freedom of the press enabled divergent views of events to be voiced, and print became a popular medium to convince the other of one's position. Plays, songs, and festive processions could be performed and were well attended by the people. So, these practices adopted in everyday life helped in spreading ideals of liberty or justice written by the political philosophers but were only read by few who were educated. So now we will look at the role of Napoleon Bonaparte. Now in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte was crowned as the Emperor of France, and he conquered the neighboring countries, dispossessing many dynasties and creating kingdoms, and placed the members of his family there. But at the same time, Napoleon tried to modernize Europe. He introduced many laws such as the protection of private property, a uniform system of weights and measures provided by the decimal system. Napoleon Bonaparte was initially seen as a liberator and would bring freedom for the people. But soon the Napoleonic armies were seen as an invading force. In 1815, at the Battle of Waterloo, that is in Belgium, Napoleon was defeated by two armies. One was the Anglo-Allied army and the other a Prussian army. Despite his defeat, his revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws spread to other parts of Europe and continued to impact even after Napoleon. To conclude, the most important legacy of the French Revolution was the ideas of liberty and democratic rights. These ideas spread to other parts of Europe in the 19th century, and as a consequence, feudal system was abolished. Even colonized people used the idea of freedom to fight for the formation of a sovereign nation state. And even Tipu Sultan and Raja Ram Mohan Roy were influenced by the revolutionary ideas of France. Now let us look at the influence of the French ideals on Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was inspired by the new ideas of liberty and democratic rights. Both the French Revolution and the July Revolution in France in 1830 inspired him. After the July Revolution, the principle of hereditary rights was replaced by sovereignty. Despite being injured in an accident, Raja Ram Mohan Roy insisted on visiting frigates, flying the revolutionary tricolour flag at Cape Town. So, frigates is warships. This concludes the chapter of French Revolution. There are 7 parts of this chapter and all are being uploaded on SK's e-Shikshalaya. This is for your reference. Thank you.